Welcome to Cooking with George. And we're going to show you how to make basmati rice and get it to come out pretty much like it comes out of the Indian restaurant, although not quite the same because it's not been sat in a tub for half an hour getting delivered to you. Start with a saucepan, and I'm going to put some, do you want to come over here? I'm going to put some oil in there, just cover the bottom like that basically. Next thing I'm going to do is get a sieve from in here, which is quite a small one. I think we've got a bigger one somewhere else, so it'll do for now. And for two people, a little cup like this size in there, and probably, I was going to say about a half, and actually should feed two people. If you're greedy, a cup each will be plenty. Shall I put a little bit more in there for us? We've got some in the cupboard. No? Right, no. Okay, so what we're going to do with this is bring it over to the sink and cold water. I'm just going to give it a wash. Rinse it over like that. Just gets rid of some of the starch. Try and get all the water out. And then we're going to tip this. I'm going to use that one. We're going to tip this into the oil, like so, like that, and then just give it a little mix about. Get all the oil into the grains of rice like that, you see. Now what that does is that stops it from sticking together, and it means you come out with nice fluffy rice which is all like individual grains. So that on the back there. Now I've already boiled the kettle, so I'm going to tip boiling water. I like to use a lot of water. I think the more water the better. Just gives the rice a chance to cook. Again, I'm sure not everyone else agrees with me. I'm just going to get that boiling. In the meantime, I'm going to put a bit of salt in there. We're putting salt into water, not into the food. So you can be a little bit more generous with the salt. You know, when you're putting it into food, you just want a little pinch or so. But when it's going into water you're cooking, I think you need a good amount of salt in there like that. And you know, I think I was being a little bit stingy there, could have put a bit more in. But it's just that the you know, we're not going to be eating the salt, the water's going away. It's just to flavour the rice a little bit. Not everybody uses salt anyway, but I do. So that needs to cook for around about 10 minutes, maybe 15. And the only way to really tell if it's cooked is to try it. So in about 8 or 10 minutes I'm going to try a little one and see what it's like, see if it's still hard. You want to get it just past being hard. That's the perfect moment to get it. And it's not too difficult, you get used to it after a couple of goes of doing it. So I'm just going to check my rice just to see how it's going. Just get a little bit on a spoon like that. Actually you can see, if it's not steaming you up, how they're all like individual grains, you know. That's from using the oil first off. So I'm just going to try a little bit. Yeah, show you. And it's just got a tiny little crunch to it still. So it literally wants about another minute at the most, and that's ready. Okay, I'm calling that done. So coming over to the sink, sieve. And before I did this, I actually boiled a kettle of water. So I've got some nice hot water. In fact, before I do that, I'm just going to pop it back on a second, just so it's boiled. So, drain into a sieve, like so. And I'm just going to pop that in there. Get the rest of this rice out of here. Okay, and now for the kettle, thank you very much. Just going to give it a rinse. Gets all the rest of the starch off it. and also any of the salt that might have been knocking around in the water will disappear off it, and it will just flavour the rice a bit. So there. So we just need to leave that drain. And there she is, all nice and fluffy. So here we go. It's nicely drained. So I'm going to put my rice in the bowl. And this one here. And that's pretty much enough for two. Like I said, if you like a bit more food than most, cup each is plenty. And you'll be surprised at how much rice is there, because they're big old bowls, so it might look small, but there's a lot there. And we've also got curry going on top of that in a minute, and naan bread. But there you go, so that's your perfect basmati rice. It's going to be lovely.